Hey y'all, it's me, Kevvie. I've been tagged in a whole bunch of stuff again, so here we go with Too Many Tags, take 2. First up is the currently reading tag, and I was tagged by Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures, my co-host for the Christie's Missing Readathon. 1. How many books do you usually read at once? Normally, I read 3 books at a time, one of which being an audiobook. At the beginning of the year, I was only reading 1 book at a time. Since starting BookTube, it's changed quite a bit. I just recently was reading 5 books at once, like, what the heck? But yeah, generally gonna be 3. 2. If you're reading more than 1 book at a time, how do you decide when to switch to reading the other book? The audiobook I usually only listen to when I'm getting ready in the mornings, or if I'm going for a walk or something. The others I just switch between whenever I feel like it. 3. Do you ever switch bookmarks while you're partway through a book? Well, since I mostly read ebooks, that's not really applicable. And I haven't really been using a bookmark for my paper books either because I just mark my progress on Goodreads, so that saves my spot for me. 4. Where do you keep the book you're currently reading? Well, on my electronic devices, obviously. And then whatever book I'm physically reading is gonna be on my work table in the other room. Down here are some of the books that I just got that I still need to get to. Oh, and I have gotten some more books since I put out my birthday Q&A, and I'm gonna do all of those thank yous and stuff during my November wrap-up. 5. What time of day do you spend the most time reading? Depending on my work schedule, I usually like to read either early in the morning or later, like after dinner before bed. 6. How long do you typically read for in one go? I like to describe myself as a sprint reader. I try to read as much as I can in one sitting. 7. Do you read hardbacks with the dust jacket on or off? I don't read many hardcovers, but I absolutely take off the dust jacket. It just gets in the way and then stresses me out. 8. Which position do you mainly use to read? Position? I mean, I'm usually seated when I'm reading? Is that what they mean? 9. Do you take the book you're currently reading with you everywhere you go? Well, since I'm always reading at least one ebook, and I have the app on my phone, yes, I do take it everywhere I go. 10. How often do you update the progress in a book you're currently reading on Goodreads? I tend to update my Goodreads at the end of each sprint, or for the audiobook when I'm out the door on my way to work. Next up is the stock Atkins and Waterman tag. I know that's not what they're called, that's just how I read it in my head, so. And I was tagged by AJ Dunn. SA&W were music producers from the 80s, and I only really know their work from the first 3 Kylie Minogue albums, which I mean, I love, but any of the other references are gonna go right over my head. 1. You'll Never Stop Me From Loving You by Sonia, an author whose book you will automatically read, even though some of their books haven't lived up to your expectations. I mean, Agatha Christie. I've hated several of her books, but I'm still gonna read them all. 2. You Spin Me Round by Dead or Alive, a book with so many twists and turns that you get dizzy. I'ma go with The Big 4 by Agatha Christie. Oh, I love the twists in this one. I know it's generally disliked by Christie fans, but I thought it was one of my favorites. 3. Too Many Broken Hearts by Jason Donovan, a book that broke your heart. Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. That one really put me through it. 4. Love in the First Degree by Bananarama, your favorite fictional couple, either Nan x Kitty from Tipping the Velvet or Daryl x Billy from Daryl by Jackie S. Oh, another one. If I can include non-book ones, then I'm gonna say Tweak x Craig from South Park. Oh, they're so cute. 5. I Should Be So Lucky by Kylie Minogue, hey, a book by an Irish author. Now, I get why they chose this prompt for that song, Luck of the Irish or whatever, but Kylie isn't Irish, she's Australian. So really, this prompt should be asking for your favorite Australian author. Unfortunately, I don't know of any, so I guess I'm gonna have to choose an Irish author. According to the internet, Oscar Wilde's Irish, and since he's a gay, I'll just go with him. 6. Say I'm Your Number One by Princess, Your favorite prize-winning book? I don't really know how to answer this one because I don't really follow awards like that, so I don't know which of the books I've read have won anything. The only one I am a little familiar with is the Agatha Award, which I researched for the upcoming Christie's Missing Readathon, and Louise Penny has won a shit ton of Agatha Awards, so I'll just say generally her Three Pines series. 7. The Harder I Try by Brother Beyond, an author you just can't get into. I guess I'll go with Kafka. I haven't given him much of a chance, so that may change, but I mean it was my first DNF of the year. 8. Happening All Over Again by Lonnie Gordon, your favorite sequel. This has gotta be An Elderly Lady Must Not Be Crossed. This book built on the story of the original, but was even better than the first. 9. Toy Boy by Sunita, your favorite poet or poem. No question, my all-time favorite poem is Poem About My Rights by June Jordan. I love this poem so much. It is all about identity and racism and sexism and imperialism and lots of really heavy stuff. I can't really perform it for y'all because it's very much about the experience of a black woman, so it would be inappropriate coming out of my mouth. But you absolutely must look it up and read it. 10. Together Forever by Rick Astley, the book that has been on your TBR the longest. Since I really only started using Goodreads when I began my Christie obsession last year, the stuff that's been on my TBR the longest has been Agatha Christie. Bonus track, Especially for You by Kylie, hey, and Jason. Recommend me a book you think I will love. So this is gonna be a total cheat, but since AJ Dunn and I are both participating in the House of Leaves read-along next month, I'm just gonna say House of Leaves. Oh, I'm so excited to read that book. Next, we have the book palette tag, and I was tagged by Kim at Middle of the Book March. Sweet. What is a book that made you excited to read more by that author? Bonus point if it also somehow exemplifies the genre you most like to read. The Great Mistake by Mary Roberts Reinhardt. I knew nothing about her before I read it, and she's now among my favorite authors. Sour. What book did you initially dislike, but after a reread you reversed your opinion on? Or, what is a book you loved at one time, but after rereading it have found it lacking in some way? Death Comes at the End by Agatha Christie. I DNF'd it the first time I read it, but when I gave it a second chance, I actually enjoyed it. Bitter. What is a book that you feel is underrated, attacked unjustly by popular or mainstream opinion, or is simply misunderstood in some way? Bonus point if it is not a book anyone else has mentioned already. My favorite horror novel is The Left-Right Game by Jack Anderson. Because it was originally a serialized independent publication through the No Sleep subreddit, it really didn't get much notice outside of No Sleep readers. But this story is incredible. Fortunately, Tessa Thompson is a big fan, and personally had it adapted into a dramatized audiobook, and she's also developing it into a TV series. Oh, I'm so excited. Salty. What is a book that changed how you thought or related to other people, or that made you realize something about yourself you were not aware of previously? Hunger by Roxane Gay. That book really revolutionized my understanding of myself and my body and taught me to articulate my experiences in a way I never could before. Sophisticated palette. Choose a book from your favorite subgenre or that has your favorite trope or motif. So one of my favorite tropes is a mystery or thriller set on a train. It's a type of isolated close circle mystery where all the suspects are confined and no one can get in or out. And one of my favorite train mysteries, as y'all should know by now, is The Lady Vanishes by Ethelina White. Eclectic palette. Eclectic palette. What are the top 3 genres you typically read or gravitate towards? Murder mysteries, black feminism, and thrillers. Maturing palette. What is a genre you've read little or none of, but would like to sample more? What book, if any, prompted this? After reading Daryl by Jackie S., I'm much more interested in reading queer romance. Now we're at the Discworld Books tag, tagged by Katya at Read Write Create and Rosie Cockshut, who are 2 of the hosts of the recent Going Postal read-along, and oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Of course, I'll get into it more in my wrap-up, but oh, I loved it, and I'm so excited to read more of the Discworld now. 1. The Witches. What is your favorite story where the so-called odd folk are far kinder than normal folk? I feel like that's a very common sort of trope, but I can't think of any right now. 2. The City Watch. Your favorite police procedural or sleuthing story where the heroes create nearly as much drama as the villains. I'm gonna go with And by Fire by EVIE HAWTREY. Not only are there two detectives working a case together, they're also ex-lovers, and Nigella's new piece of man might be the killer. 3. Death. What is your favorite story that moves away from painting death as life's ultimate villain? I'm gonna go with the book I read as a kid, Elsewhere by Gabrielle Zevin. In this book, the afterlife is basically no different than the one we currently live in, except they age backwards until you pop back out again on the other side. 4. Moist von Liebwig. What is your favorite story featuring the ultimate anti-hero? I'd say Eddie Flynn is a pretty cool anti-hero. Former conman, former alcoholic, now a hotshot lawyer, using his conning skills to help him win cases. 5. Rincewind / The Wizards. What is your favorite story featuring eccentric academics or academic institutions? I can't think of anything else for this, so I'm going to choose Morris Goes to School. Because one of the students is literally a moose. Oh, a proper answer would be Binti. Yes, Binti. That book is awesome. 6. Tiffany Aching and the Mac and Cheeses. What is your favorite coming-of-age story? I don't know if I have one. Apparently that's a genre I don't really read. 7. Discworld. What story has some of the best world-building elements you can think of? So it's not a book, but the best world-building I've ever experienced was in the video game We Happy Few. It's about a British island in the 60s, in a world where the Nazis won World War II. This little island town has never recovered from the devastation of the war, so they develop a drug called joy, which creates a sense of euphoria, causes people to forget, and has mild hallucinogenic properties so that things look less shitty than they really are. My Halloween video this year was about that game. Definitely check that out. And if you aren't one for playing video games, at least look up a playthrough here on YouTube. It is so worth a watch. The last tag in this video is the Cozy Autumn tag, tagged by Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot. 1. What is a book that always reminds you of fall / autumn? I can't think of anything else, so because it's the easy, obvious choice, I'm just gonna go with Halloween by Agatha Christie. Halloween Party, not Halloween. 2. What is your favorite autumnal book cover? I have no idea. Just find yourself a random cozy mystery series and insert any of their fall covers, because they're really good at reflecting seasons and themes of that nature. 3. What is your favorite autumnal drink to read with? I feel like I could just copy and paste my vitamin water ice video from the last tag video, so I'm just gonna do that. My favorite beverage is vitamin water ice, blueberry and lavender water. This beverage is so relaxing, and I always stop and inhale its calming aroma before I take a sip. I have one of these every single night before I go to bed. My fridge is packed with these. It is a must-have. Do you prefer to read late at night or early in the morning? Honestly, both. I tend to do both most days. 5. Halloween is coming. What is your favorite spoopy read? Halloween already came and went, but for Halloween last month, I read Ruth Ware and H.P. Lovecraft. 6. What is the ultimate comfort read for you? I'm gonna say Louise Penny's Three Pine series. It takes place in French Canada. There's a diverse cast, and it's so cozy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. 7. What is your favorite autumnal reading snack? I don't know, I don't really snack while I read. 8. What is your favorite autumnal candle to burn while reading? I don't really burn many candles either. Although, I recently grabbed the Pixar Milk and Cookies candle, and damn is it yummy. 9. When you're not reading, what is your favorite autumnal activity? Watching TV? I don't know, my activities don't really change from season to season. 10. What is your autumn/fall reading list? This fall, I'm reading some mysteries like Louise Penny and Agatha Christie, some Stephen King, Sister Souljah's urban romance novel, The Coldest Winter Ever, as well as all the books I got for my birthday. So there you have 5 whole tags. Have you done any of these tags? Which tag was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if it pleases and sparkles, I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!